But today, I'm the greatest of all time. Thank you.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers. You better wake up for the pay stub, or you'll pay up. Don't make love to the game, bruh, fuck the game up. Change up, rearrange stuff to your greatness. Famous for the way up, play the game, bruh.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top, yeah.
You know I'm always honest, there ain't no way I'll never stop it.
I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top,
I'm always flirting with pain, she like to hurt me and maim. I'm always working to change, but she's still lurking the same. I keep on building a dynasty while the haters be trying me, but they hate from inside.
All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Unscripted here on the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network. I'm your host, producer this afternoon, Logan Landers, and joining me as always, we're discussing the 2024 NBA trade deadline preview. As always, my right-hand man, Jay McLovin. What's up, Jay?
Hey, I'm doing well, my brother. I'm doing well, and I'm doing way better than Joel Embiid, baby.
Oh,
Logan, do you know they said 6 to 8 weeks recovery time, and I'm thinking to myself, I've had meniscus. He tore his meniscus.
Mm-hmm.
I've torn my meniscus. I know exactly what it looks like for that rehab time. And then for an average person like you and me, Logan, 6 to 8 weeks is about right. But for an elite athlete, to be able to do what an elite athlete needs to do, you either better be throwing some stem cell research in there, or that's very unrealistic. And to think that he won't have another torn injury off of that is highly likely. So I know they said 6 to 8, but if I'm a Phillies fan, I know it takes more than 6 to 8 for an elite athlete. So
and also,
as you will.
No, and also that's pretty much going to kiss his MVP dreams goodbye.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
We know with the NBA instituting the new rule of you have to play 65 games in a season to be eligible for awards, he ain't going to hit that. I mean, the season's going to be, for the most part, over, by the time he comes back. It's already February, Jay. The playoffs start in a few months.
Yeah.
And he's already missed time. So it ain't looking too hot. If you're Jokic, you're loving it. Because that path to the MVP just got a lot easier, I should say, with Embiid going to be out now. So it's going to be interesting to see nonetheless. And that's what we're here to do, Jay. Trade deadline preview. Before we get into it, though, if you enjoy the episode, give us a like, follow, share, subscribe on all the social media channels you see here on the screen, on Facebook, X, TikTok, YouTube, and on Twitch. We go live there multiple times per week with some amazing sports and entertainment content. And also, we are on LinkedIn. If you want to connect with us on a professional level, if you want to come help out the network, please go over to our LinkedIn. Check us out. We have an application open right now for a host position. So come on and talk some sports with us, talk some entertainment with us. Also, hit us up on LinkedIn, and we'll go get you guys as soon as we can. And, Jay, let's just go ahead and get right into it, man. Trade deadline preview. Just kind of a free-flowing show. So where you want to start with?
Oh, man. Let's start with the Warriors. Can we go Golden State? Can we start with Golden State? Is that okay to do that?
Yeah, no, I'm good with that.
Are we ready for that discussion to talk Golden State? Can we go there? Is that okay?
I mean, okay. I don't know, Jay. No, I don't know if Golden State fans are ready to have a difficult conversation.
I'm just asking.
But are you ready to have a difficult conversation?
I'm so ready to have it. I'm so ready to have it. It was a first item on my list.
Okay, let's hear it then. What you got?
Let's talk Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, and let's talk Andrew Wiggins.
All right, go ahead.
I think all three of these guys are on the block. I think personally, and it has been said, I don't remember the publication that reported it, but I'm telling you, it is out there, and I have seen it. Don't take my advice if you don't want to hear it, but I'm telling you, it has been said that everybody that is on Golden State, with the exception of one Stephon Curry,
fair,
is open up for game. Open for game.
You know?
Now, hold on. Now, Thompson is on the last year of his contract. I believe next year is the last. He has 1 year remaining on his contract. Draymond has 2 years out of the 4 years left on his contract. So it makes them somewhat expendable if they want to pick up the other half of Draymond's contract and the last year of Thompson's contract. So they are expendable. Wiggins, I don't know where Wiggins is completely on his contract, but I do know he is up for trade debate. So 3 people, and let's be honest, if I'm Golden State, I know they're the Dub brothers, but sometimes the Dub brothers just dub out. And when you dub out, baby. And you got to be on the block, and we got to figure out, or they got to figure out where they're going to go from here. Because I promise you, this Golden State team, as it is configured, is not going to go to the finals. So you better start trying to figure out what is the next level. Because Clay's getting older, Draymond's getting older. Andrew still has some young youth to himself, so he might give you a little bit more on the trade scenario. But Logan, all of these guys, with the exception of Curry, are available for trade. And where would you see them? I can see Clay as a three-point shooter going somewhere like Robert Horry did at the end of his career when he left the Lakers and went to, I believe it was San Antonio.
You're right.
Right? So somebody needs a sharp shooting three-pointer, they might pick him up. Draymond is that kind of guy that can give you a lot of – maybe he goes to Miami. I know Miami's looking to do a fire sale. We'll get more into that here in a minute. Maybe he goes to Miami. Maybe he goes to another team like Steven Adams is coming to the Rockets. Maybe there's a team out there that just needs that one guy to smack talk to get them over the hump. A la maybe the Celtics. Thank you. Jay's gonna get that eventually. Maybe the Celtics need that one guy down low around the paint that could be fiercely competitive to really spark one, Tatum and company over there to do what they need to do, right? That could be the one guy that actually gets the Celtics to the NBA Finals. So I'm calling Draymond Green some kind of trade to the Boston Celtics.
It's interesting. Just touching on those guys. Draymond I think he's been on thin ice in Golden State for a minute now. I think Steve Kerr, if you look at Steve Kerr, Jay, he looks just not like himself. Right. I think Draymond's taking years off his life with the amount of stress. I mean, they got rid of Jordan Poole, who they had just given that massive contract to. Let's not forget that. And leads us to believe it was because of the altercation last year with Draymond. Now, it's not like Jordan Poole's lighting the world on fire in Washington. But, Jay, would you rather have Jordan Poole on your team, a young player, as opposed to Klay Thompson, who, let's be real here, let's have that difficult conversation, hasn't looked as good since those injuries 4 years ago?
Yeah, right? I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to hang on to Jordan before that happens. I think anybody who brings on Klay Thompson has to be a team that is one sharpshooter away from
making a good run.
So watch this. A la Ray Allen with Miami, or Ray Allen with Boston, right? Who has that sharp shooting ability. And that's where I think he goes. I think Klay Thompson goes to the Lakers.
Ooh. To get them back in.
He is a sharp shooting Robert Horry that they needed back in the day. And I think that's exactly where he goes. I think he's a 3-ball that the Lakers need when it's not there for Bron or AD down low in the paint.
Interesting. Now, the one that I'm curious about is Wiggins, because Wiggins is in the first year, Jay, as you mentioned, of that giant deal, 4 years, $109 million. Do you see anyone taking that deal as bad as he's been this year?
I'm sorry. I say
no. Do you think that anyone's gonna take that bad contract of Wiggins right now?
No. I don't think.
You think he stays put? You think he stays put?
I think AD stays put. I don't know.
So, you think Wiggins stays?
Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins. Yeah. No. Absolutely. Andrew Wiggins is a young guy. He is an extremely young guy, and that's like saying Zach LaVine. Because Zach LaVine has a bad ankle right now. Would somebody take Zach LaVine? Yeah, somebody takes Zach LaVine. Yes, somebody takes Andrew Wiggins because they know what they've done and they know what they're capable of. And so I don't think a bad foot or a bad ankle is going to necessarily take that away.
And speaking of Zach LaVine, as Dustin comments here, with LaVine now out for the season.
We'll get more to Caruso and DeMar
DeRozan. Yeah, we get into them super quick. So Zach LaVine can't be traded, much to the chagrin of a lot of Bulls fans who are out there.
But hold on, Dustin, because we will talk Caruso, Zach LaVine.
Oh, yeah, we're getting to him.
Promise.
We're getting to him. So, Jay, let's go to some other kind of bigger names, right? Ones that you've seen thrown around. One that I've seen a lot lately is in my neck of the woods here in Atlanta, and that's DeJounte Murray.
Yeah.
Now,
let's talk DeJounte Murray.
Let's talk.
Going to?
So I don't.
It's wrong point.
I mean, look. Let's be real here. Everyone and their mother is linked to the Lakers. Let's be real here.
Let's be real.
So with Murray, he is one of the few defensive guys on that team, and I say that in air quotes because the Hawks are one of the worst defensive teams in the league. There ain't no question about that. They're currently 10th seed right now at the time of this recording, 22-27. Definitely not where I thought they would be, not where a lot of people thought they would be. So I definitely think they would start selling just because they have a super young team. Murray's got a decent contract, you know what I mean? 4 years, 120. He just signed it last offseason.
Right.
But if you can flip him, Jay, for some draft capital, because I think that's what Atlanta would look for as opposed to trying to buy now. I think that they would look to sell just because they already got such a young team. I think if this was my game plan, hear me out. If you can flip him for some draft picks and maybe just some other bench players thrown in, you know what I mean, just have for money purposes, I think that would be maybe the best bet for Atlanta because you're the 10 seed. You're deep down in the Eastern Conference. It's going to be a tough fight. So Dustin comments here saying Murray needs to go to a defensive first team who's missing a point guard. Sacramento Kings need a shooting guard, and the Nuggets need a pair with Jamal Murray. So,
and I get that, and all of that looks good, but and Dustin, what you're saying, I can see happening. Okay, that's one scenario. That's one scenario that could happen. Let me give you a different scenario. If I can, Logan, is it okay if I give a different scenario?
Go right ahead.
Okay. The scenario that I'm going to give you would be a third team involved, and that'd be the Nets.
Ooh, the Nets do have a lot of young players.
That'd be the Nets. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why.
Go ahead.
So I think that Jamal Russell would need to be involved into this trade some kind of way. And I think Ben Simmons would be involved in this trade some sort of way from the Nets. So I'm thinking, and I think if they're going to bring a Murray over, they're going to have to deal with the salary cap some kind of way as well. So I think to make this deal work, the Lakers would take on Murray. Russell would go to either Atlanta or Ben Simmons would go to that. But I think it's going to be a Murray, Simmons, and Jamal Russell. All three of those find new teams to make this deal happen. But I think Murray winds up with the Lakers in this whole scenario.
Okay. So you think that it would be Ben Simmons, D'Angelo Russell,
right,
and DeJounte Murray.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think D'Angelo would wind up with the Hawks. And I think that Murray.
You bring Murray, you'd put him on the Lakers, and then Ben Simmons would go.
Simmons, thank you. That was the third one I was saying.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, I think Simmons goes to Atlanta and Russell goes to the Nets. That's how I would work that. That's how I think that trade would work. I'm sorry, I apologize for not.
No.
But I think it's a 3-team trade, and I think if it's going to involve the Lakers, it's going to have to involve the Nets. And I think the Nets are ready to move on from Ben Simmons. But I still think that Ben Simmons has at least a little bit of value still left in this league and to make the deal work.
Only thing I'm not sure about with that scenario is that I don't see Ben Simmons and Trae Young working as a unit. I mean, just because those two are
right. I mean,
both of those guys are very ball dominant. Obviously, they're point guards. Simmons can't shoot for a lick, and Trae Young's a high volume scorer.
Hold on. Let me give you the cap.
Okay.
Simmons is a head case. Simmons doesn't want look.
Okay.
Simmons don't want the rock. Simmons would be much happier just being Ben Simmons and dishing the rock and grabbing rebounds. So I'm thinking that you have Trae Young as your starter, Ben Simmons off of your bench, and then you just put Ben Simmons in when you need to switch the ball up.
So Dustin, what's he saying here? Also, you take a look at the Cavs, some of the young assets, as well as Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. All right, so we talked about it earlier. Let's go to Chicago, Jay, because we talked about Murray. Murray is the whole
Caruso situation.
Murray's the most lucrative, I would say, trade bait right now, from what I've seen. He's the one that's been dangling the most that seems realistic. But let's go to Chicago, and we know what Zach LaVine's out for the season. The Bulls are currently the 9 seed, right above the Hawks, coincidentally. And look, man, I don't think they're going to make much of a punch with that current unit. I don't see them. Look, and I'm thinking championships. You know what I mean? I don't see them. This isn't a championship team. So we talked about Caruso and DeRozan. Those are the main two. Now, do you see either of them getting swapped?
Give me that one more time. The two we're talking about. You said
Alex Caruso or DeMar DeRozan. You see either of them moving teams?
I think Caruso goes first.
Okay.
And the reason, and I'm going to tell you why. Teams have already been requesting Caruso.
Yep.
There have already been teams limit, and I will tell you one of those teams, believe it or not, go figure, is the Lakers. Trying to bring Caruso back. The second reason is I think DeRozan. They're going to want draft capital back that are high-level draft capital. They're going to want first-rounders back for DeRozan. So I think that the first one that goes before the two goes is going to be Caruso because I don't think they're going to look for – I mean, they're going to maybe look for some draft capital maybe or a player, draft capital or a player. But what it would take to get Caruso from the net or from the Bulls – is much less than what they're going to ask for a guy like DeRozan. Unless the teams are willing to give up, 2 or 3 first rounders.
Yeah, which I don't feel comfortable.
So I think Caruso's going to go first because he's going to require the least amount to move for DeRozan.
For DeRozan. So Dustin says
the team already has it in their mind that they want DeRozan and no hands down, then they're going to come. But we haven't seen any of that kind of chatter amongst the rumor mills that they have that much interest level. So I don't see it happen.
So Dustin says Caruso won't be dealt because of the Bulls' asking price. And then Dustin also says,
yeah, I agree with
that. They're looking for a similar deal to what the Raptors got for Siakam when it comes to Caruso, which I don't want to – I'm not paying that much. I'm not giving up that much draft stock. Philly is also willing to give up a first-rounder for DeRozan. Trade DeRozan to Philly and keep Caruso. But – If you do that, you're blowing the team up.
That doesn't happen. Can I tell you why that doesn't happen?
Why is that, Jay?
Because it's also reported that Philly wants to get Jimmy Buckets back, and Pat Riley is in a fire mode.
Well, I mean, the Heat
currently
8 seed
cancels DeRozan out.
The Heat have underperformed. That ain't no question. Since we're talking about the Heat, they got some young guys, Jay. They got Tyler Hero. They got Duncan Robinson, who's on that awful contract. I mean, do you think that they go into sell mode? You think that they just blow it up?
Well, let's talk about the Heat since we're talking about the Heat.
Let's do it.
Well, they already traded Kyle Lowry down to the Hornets. And
Kyle.
Rumor has it, and I don't want to say it, but rumor has it, and I've seen it printed. Printed, Logan, and I'm not going to throw all the day, but printed, it has been said that Kyle Lowry could be going to the Sixers.
Oh, well, okay. Nice little bench
I'm not
piece
saying it's going to happen. I'm not – look, the one thing this show will tell you is the truth. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying that it's been rumored that the Sixers could be looking to move for a guy like Kyle Lowry.
That, I mean,
Kyle Lowry is out there. Kyle Lowry is out there. I'm just trying to tell you, I don't think when the season starts that Kyle Lowry is in Hornetsville, Charlottesville.
No, I think he gets.
So we'll wait to see if that rumor comes true. But I don't think that he's done moving yet. I don't think that he's looking for property yet. I think he's in a hotel waiting to see what happens. That's what I think with Kyle Lowry.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. You're good.
No, so I was just looking around at some other potential trade candidates and or teams. Let's go to Dallas, Jay. Let's talk with the Mavericks.
Okay.
It says that they are looking to maybe get a power forward. Some names that have been rumored are PJ Washington and Kyle Kuzma.
Interestingly enough, I'm glad
Dallas is the 8th seed.
Yeah. Now, have you seen do you know what the Washington Wizards are asking for Kyle Kuzma? Because I'm
probably
actually
arm and a leg, I'm guessing, right?
No, that worked out well. Logan, you know what? This is how I know me and you are a good tandem. Kyle Kuzma, the Washington Wizards want 2 first-round draft picks.
Hey. Okay.
So if Dallas wants to bring on Kyle Kuzma, do you think that, well, it's not Mark Cuban anymore.
No.
Because we all know that the Dallas Mavericks have been sold to a new ownership group. So will the new ownership group want 2 first-round draft picks, or were they willing to give up 2 first-round draft picks to bring in a Kyle Kuzma? Which
That's tricky,
by the way. But
it's tricky because if you give up, your draft capital, then Dallas's defense is just going to fall off the bottom of the earth, Jay. I mean, because they're not a great defensive team, and Kuzma's not really going to help that. And we all know that he's a scorer, no question about it, but he's a very streaky scorer. He's either going to score you 25 for 5 straight nights, or he's going to score you 10. Now, when you look at your defensive leaders, and this is just points per game, Jay, the Dallas Mavericks are 21st at the moment. Yeah. That's bottom of the league. It's not bare bottom, but it's still the bottom half. And if you give up draft picks, couple of bench pieces, give or take, if you give up some of those guys, you're going to be at the bottom. You're going to have to score 125 points a night if you want to win.
Well, that's true. No, that's true. That's true. And let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving.
Right. Yeah, let's go.
We only got about 8 minutes. There's a couple of other plays I want to put in there.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have also found out that the Sixers are looking at Toronto, Bruce Brown, and possibly Detroit's Bojan Bogdanovic.
Get some shooting. Okay.
I'm just trying to say
because
Ham and company. Do you think that could happen?
Well, I also think, especially now, if Philly wants to maintain the level they're at, with Joel Embiid going to be out for 6+ weeks, we'll say comfortably. I mean, they're going to have to find some extra scoring. Right. Don't get me wrong; they have a good team, but you're going to be losing a guy who's an MVP candidate for quite some time. So it wouldn't shock me at all if they get someone like a Bogdanovic or a Bruce Brown, who's not much of a scorer, but he's definitely that kind of defensive type of player. So I definitely could see Philly making a move for definitely, I would think, a scorer as opposed to defense, because you're going to need the points more than the defense with Joel Embiid.
Oh, yeah, easily.
All right, who else you got on your list, Jay?
Yeah, so let's talk about Donovan Mitchell.
With the Cavaliers. Okay.
So Pat Riley is looking for big names. He's going to get rid of big names. That means he wants to bring in his names. So during the Pat Riley sell and the Pat Riley bringeth in, I think he brings in Donovan Mitchell. I think Mitchell will go to the Miami Heat off of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Okay, but
so look for that. Look for that. I'm telling you, they need the scoring because, look, here's the deal. If Jimmy Buckets goes to
Cleveland?
If Jimmy Buckets goes to the Sixers,
okay,
they're going to have to bring in big name and big potential to replace that. I'm just trying to tell you is that I could see Jimmy Buckets going to the Sixers, and I can see Donovan Mitchell going to Miami to replace what they lost. I'm saying Pat Riley is already looking at Donovan Mitchell to come in and replace the big name talent and Jimmy Buckets that he's going to lose.
So my question though is, who in return? I mean, because if I'm the Cavaliers, Jay, and I'm the number 3 team in the East, I'm already sitting pretty in the playoffs, and I'd be giving up my best player.
Right.
So I would want, if it, really, just trade armchair GM, I would want, if I could swap Jimmy Butler for Donovan Mitchell, that's my first option. Give me Tyler Hero, give me a bunch of draft picks, give me some scoring, because you're gonna have to make up for that. So that is an interesting deal. All right, we got a couple minutes left. So who else you got?
Hey, hold on. Let's talk about the Cleveland side of the Donovan Mitchell trade.
Okay.
He's up to be a free agent next season.
Right.
That's my point.
Unless Cleveland thinks this is their year.
That's why I think Donovan Mitchell. If Cleveland feels like they cannot sign Donovan Mitchell back,
you trade him.
Or if you feel like you can get something better, then I think now is the time to trade him while you still can. Because you get something before he leaves.
Because we've already seen teams get burnt thinking that they'll re-sign a player, but they won't. They don't. They go somewhere else and they get nothing.
So, for example, so I see this one of two ways. I see this as if you haven't traded Jimmy Buckets to the Sixers before they trade Donovan Mitchell, is it right? It's a timing thing. If you can time it right, could it be a swap of Jimmy Buckets for Donovan Mitchell? If you time it right.
Right, that's the main thing.
Otherwise, are you willing to bring in a guy who has promising value, who tends to get better every season, and a Tyler Hero for a Donovan Mitchell? And maybe a little bit of draft compensation if you feel like you need a little bit more to make it happen.
No, that's fair. That's a fair statement. One quick name I just want to throw out at you while we got just about a minute, 2.5 minutes left, give or take. What about Malcolm Brogdon? Forgot about him. He's out there in Portland, just kind of chilling. Do you think that they give up the former 6 Man of the Year? Do you think that they could flip him for someone?
I don't think so as of yet.
Okay.
Let me ask you this, because I don't have my internet pulled up, so I haven't kept track of where Portland is in the standings.
Yeah.
Do you know where
right now, Portland, Jay, they are the second to worst team in the West. They are 15 and 35.
If that's the case, then I think you maybe start looking for trades, because the team that you currently have, either the team that you currently have, or the team or the coach himself, which, correct me if I'm wrong, is the guy.
Chauncey.
Is Chauncey from Detroit.
Chauncey Billups, yep.
Yeah, you either don't believe in Chauncey Billups or you don't believe in the team. And if you don't believe in the team, then yes, he would be up for trade auction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which tells me, though, I don't think the issues with Portland is with Bogdanovich. I think the issue with Portland is the coach. Because it's a team outside of losing, obviously your best player in Damian Dollar, you don't go straight down that far losing one guy. That tells me that you had the wrong coach in place. And I would tell them to keep that in mind when trading. If you plan on trading, don't trade because you need to trade. Look at your coach before you trade the wrong people.
All right. Well, Jay, that was well said. And we've covered a lot of ground, my friend, in the last 29 minutes. We've talked about contenders, pretenders, teams in the middle who might be wanting to make a move up, teams who might be saying, all right, we've had enough, we're going to go ahead and sell, or teams who are buying in for a championship. Trade deadline is just a couple of days away, Jay. February the 8th is when it is, so it is coming up really soon, and we will be seeing deals aplenty. Woj and Shams are going to be having their phones on fire on NBA Twitter. It's going to be a fun time, though, Jay. Always love the trade deadline. Love talking about it with you, as always.
I have one question.
Real quick.
So I see our social tree up, but Logan, recent developments means we possibly could be hitting Instagram. Is that true?
It could be. Just stay tuned and you'll see. Guys, enjoy your weekends. We'll see you again on another live episode.